What's up guys, Philip here bringing you a comparison video, and today we're going to be comparing two microphones, the FIFINE K670 versus the Samsung G-Track Pro. And before we go any further, a quick word from the sponsor of this video. Sparkify is a website that pulls in giveaways from all over the internet and brings them into one place. So instead of running around the internet looking for the best giveaways out there, Sparkify brings them into one place for you to cherry pick which giveaways you want to enter. So if you want to win some free stuff, I'll leave a link down in the description below where you can create your Sparkify account to win some cool giveaway prizes. So both of these microphones are great at what they do, especially considering the price points. But the biggest difference between these two microphones is the amount of features you get. As you can tell by the Samsung microphone here, you have a lot more buttons and knobs, which in turn gives you more features. And with the FIFINE here, you only have one adjustable knob, so it's fairly basic when it comes to functionality. However, just because the FIFINE is limited in features doesn't mean that the recording audio quality is bad. I would say that both of these microphones are good at recording audio quality. And here's a little recording test for you to see the difference between what both of these microphones sound like. So starting off with the Samsung, we're going to be using the cardioid recording pattern, which basically records audio from in front of the microphone. So here we go. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. And then if I move back from here, testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. And now we're going to test out the FIFINE microphone over here. So we're going to move up close to it. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. And if we move back from the microphone about 2 feet, I would say, testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. So let me know what you think about the audio quality difference between both of these microphones down in the comments below. So as you can tell by the recording of the audio quality, both of these microphones sound pretty good. I really couldn't tell too big of a difference between the both of these. And now let's cover a little bit of the pros and cons and what some of the features that the Samsung microphone has over the FIFINE over here. So starting off with the build quality between both of these microphones. The Samsung is made fully of metal. It's a lot more heavier duty, and I would say the build quality is significantly better than the FIFINE. The FIFINE is also great in build quality, however, it's just not up to par with the Samsung microphone. And the other thing about the FIFINE is that it can easily be tipped over if you run your hand through it because of how much lighter weight it is than the Samsung. So now let's talk about adjustability. Starting with the Samsung, it can go up, down, left, right, swivel in any direction that you wish. So you can really get it in the perfect position. And the cable runs under the microphone, so it's not really going to get in your way when you're trying to adjust it, and it travels through the back of the microphone, so it's not going to be running across your desk or anything like that. And the Samsung also has accessories included in the packaging that allow you to attach it to a boom arm mount if that's something you wish to do. Now the adjustability on the FIFINE is also the same as the Samsung pretty much. You can adjust it up, down, left, right, swivel it in any direction that you wish. The only thing I wasn't a fan of with the FIFINE microphone was that the cable runs through the front, and it feels like it's kind of in the way because it's the cable is right in front of you. And you can make it go through the back and all that, but it just doesn't feel as well polished as the Samsung. And just like the Samsung, the FIFINE microphone can also be attached to a boom arm mount if that's something you wish to do. And I'd recommend attaching these mics to a boom arm mount because the closer you can get the mic to your mouth, the better the audio quality is gonna sound. Now let's talk a little bit about the controls. So starting off with the Samsung, you can see that there are way more buttons here than on the FIFINE. And the first thing that the Samsung has is a mute button, which lets you mute the microphone. So if you don't want any audio traveling in, simply hit the mute button and you're gonna get a yellow light that turns on, letting you know that the microphone is muted. Or another alternative way to mute the mic is simply just to get the mic knob and twist it all the way to the lowest volume, and no volume will be able to enter into the microphone. And the next control on the Samsung microphone are these 3 adjustable knobs, and they let you adjust the volume of some of the features on this mic. So of course you have the input of the audio that you're bringing into the microphone from here, that's the mic knob. The next one is the instrument knob, which if you have a guitar or a violin or something connected to the microphone, you can adjust how loud the recording is of the instrument. And then you also have the volume, and basically you can plug in your headphones into the back of the microphone and you can listen to which audio is coming into the microphone. The next setting for recording is the track recording. You can record either mono or 2-track, and basically what that means is if you have an instrument plugged into the microphone, it's going to record as 2 separate audio tracks when you put it on your computer. This is really handy if you're someone who writes music and you want to keep your audio and your music on separate audio files. Now, if we look on the back of the Samson mic, we can see that there's a few more switches back here. And this up here, we have a switch that's for monitoring, and this allows you to plug in your headphones and listen through what audio is coming in through the headphones. And it's just a simple on and off switch. And then under that, we have a headphone jack, which is self-explanatory. You plug it in and that's what allows you to listen to your audio. And then the next one is how you plug your instruments in, which will require a 1/4 instrument jack cable. And now moving on to the FIFINE, this one is a lot more simple than the Samson. All you have is a volume adjuster, which adjusts how loud the audio is coming into the microphone. And then on the back, we have a headphone jack, which lets you listen to the audio that's coming into the microphone. And that's pretty much it with the FIFINE microphone. It's much more limited than the Samson microphone in terms of control and functionality, but that's not necessarily a bad thing if you don't need those features. Okay, and the last thing I want to cover is the recording patterns of these microphones. And basically recording patterns are how the microphone records the audio. Some microphones record the entire room, some record in a specific direction. So with the Samson here, you have 3 options. You have an 8-figure option, which basically records audio from the front of the microphone and the back of the microphone. And this is good for things like podcasting between 2 people. One person can sit like on one side of the table, like I can be sitting here and you can be sitting there, and the audio is going to come in through this side and this side of the microphone perfectly fine. The next recording option is cardioid, and basically what that does is it's going to turn off the microphone on the back and only keep it on in the front. So if you speak into the front of the microphone, it's going to capture all of the audio quality. But if you turn the microphone around and speak into the back of the mic, it's going to be a lot more muffled and muted sounding. And this is good if you're mainly doing like streaming, YouTubing, solo podcasting. That way you can capture mainly your voice and very little of the environment around you. And the last option is if you switch it to Omni mode, it basically captures audio all around the room. Not just front and back, but the left and right speakers as well will turn on. And this is good for things like if you're having a conference call or if you have like 3 or 4 people doing a podcast together as a group. And with the FIFINE microphone, there's no switch to switch the patterns, and it only has one recording style, and that's the cardioid pattern style. And basically what that's going to do is only let you record from the front of the microphone. If you speak into the back of the microphone, it's gonna still capture some audio, but it's gonna be a lot more muffled and muted sounding. So between both of these microphones, the better option is depending on what your use case is. If you're someone who writes songs, or you podcast with multiple people, or you're constantly speaking with groups of people on a conference call, then the Samson is gonna be a much better option for you, and I would recommend this one. But if you're, simply doing simple stuff like YouTube voiceovers, streaming on Twitch or something like that, or, solo podcasting, then the FIFINE is going to do perfectly fine. And it is a lot cheaper too. This microphone, as of making this video, goes for $50, and the Samson goes for roughly $120. So you may not necessarily need the Samson if you don't do all that advanced stuff, and the FIFINE would be good enough pretty much for majority of people. So with all that being said, if you're interested in picking up any of these microphones, I'll leave a link to both of these microphones down in the description below. And if you want to see more videos like this, I review a lot of the latest tech gear out there, and I compare a lot of products against each other to help you make a better purchasing decision. And if you want to see videos like that, make sure you click that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to like this video and leave your comments down below. Thanks for watching.